live with Tao. Mind cannot remain in the middle. Because in the middle, the mind has to lose itself. Mind exists only in extremes, the two extreme situation. Mind means excess. Mind always works as an extremist. Either you are for or you are against it. This is the nature of the mind. Either you are leftist or rightist. Either you are theist or atheist. Mind cannot remain in the middle. Either you are for or against. You cannot be neutral. In the middle means you are neutral. You are neither extremist, you are neither rightist nor leftist. Instead, you have chosen the middle path. It is like walking on the left pavement or the right pavement. But when you are driving at a pace in a vehicle, you cannot remain extreme. You have to be in the middle, watching your directions. You cannot be simply neutral. Mind cannot exist when there is neutrality. It can be here or there, but mind needs the opposites. It needs to be opposed to something, and that opposition gives it is a strength, energy to propel itself forward. It is not opposed to anything. It disappears. Then there is no functioning for it because it cannot function. Try this. In any way become neutral, indifferent. Suddenly you will find the mind has no function. If you are for, you can think. If you are against, again you can think. If you are neither for nor against, what is there left to think about? Either you like this dish or you do not. You cannot say, I like, I dislike. Then mind cannot work. If you say, I like this dish, mind will give you 1,001 arguments to the other who is sitting there. And if you do not like, then you will give your next set of arguments against it. From nowhere you will start finding the faults in that, or shortcomings, or drawbacks. This is how the mind works. Not in a neutral position. Suddenly, the moment you are neutral means you neither like it or dislike it. Mind stops functioning because mind have no role. As long as you are against it, mind can give the arguments. The simple thing is this: you have gone to the restaurant, the menu is there, you are looking at the menu, the two people are there, they are discussing. Oh no, that is not good because last time I took it, it was so, and it has something that is not really tasty, but you are not giving the opportunity to other to express his views. It may be that you may not like it. You have 1,001 arguments against it, but that does not mean that you do not. Have you ever found a situation when you are in a restaurant along with your family and you tell them to choose whatever you like? I will choose what I like. But in most cases, if someone is choosing a particular dish, you have to speak, the mind has to speak in favor or against it. This is how it goes on. If you are neither against nor for, what is there left to think? Buddha says that indifference is the basis of the middle path. Upeksha or indifference, be indifferent to the extremes. There are many who follow the path of leftism. There are few who follow the path of rightism. And you can be friendly with both of them. It is their choice and I have nothing to do with it. If you are eating that particular dish, it has nothing to do with me. You are eating it, you are enjoying it, and it is a great joy for me for you to enjoy. Why should I impose my views on you? Unless you ask. I am not, but the people are quick to give their judgment. Oh, you should convert your religion to this. Why should I convert it? If you go into the argument because they are one extreme of the mind, they will start giving. So it's simply to avoid. The other day someone came and he started telling me something. I said, can I offer you a cup of tea? From nowhere. Can I offer you a cup of tea? I changed the topic immediately. Oh, I have different flavors. Whichever one you like, I can make it. So this is how Buddha's method was the middle path. Be indifferent to the extremes and you will be in the middle. When you are driving your vehicle, you leave the two extremes, the two extreme pavements, the going up and going down, coming down. So you drive in the middle. You see those, you do not walk on those, because that is for those people who are the extremes. One who is coming from A to B, the other who is going from B to A. So the pavements are on the two sides of the road. You are driving at a pace. You have to drive in the middle of the road, whatever is the path designed or assigned for you. You are not following the pavements. That is for the others. Yes, somebody can argue when you are driving, either you have to drive your left-hand drive or the right-hand drive. That's a different matter. We are not going into that. My purpose is that mind works only on the extremes. Two extreme situations, is there right or wrong, good or bad? But mind cannot work in the middle when it is neither good nor bad. How is this tasting? You have to decide. What do you think? I don't think about it. I have eaten it and I have forgotten it, how it tasted. And the way it tasted the last time when I tasted it may not be necessary. It may taste the same thing. It depends on so many factors. Number one, who is making it today? Although they follow a certain recipe, but at the same time they put their own personal input into it. Their lovingness, their state of the mind at the time they are making the particular dish. And also at the time When I am consuming it, what is the state of my inner state? That does not remain the same. So if it remains the same, then you can eat the same food over and over again and you will not be disturbed. But that is a state of meditativeness, that is a state of an awakened one. He can eat the same thing. You are tired. Why do you eat the same food every day? But don't you eat the same thing, certain items? You eat the same bread. You eat the same water 3 times for the day, but you are never fed up of that. But if a dish is made that I cannot eat the same food every day, morning, evening and lunch, because you are not alive. If you are alive, you know every moment the time does not remain the same. The clock is not stuck, but the clock of your mind is stuck at a particular spot. It is not moving. So Buddha emphasized on this indifference, not bothered about the extremes, indifferent to the extremes. Just try one thing, be indifferent to extreme, and you are in a state of balancing. This balancing will give you a new dimension of feeling where you are both knower and the known, the world and the other world. What normally happens, we live for one, we live in one state. The world and the other world, this and that, the body and the mind, you are both. You are synergy. It is not said that you are mind, but it is said sometimes man is the mind. As is the mind, so is the man. But there is a possibility, there is a state, because you are neither the body nor the mind, because mind is a part of the body. So it is like a computer which has a hardware and which has a software and it has a program. So your body is the hardware, mind is the hardware, and mind is the software, and then it works on a particular program. Every system, be it Mac, be it Windows, it has used a hardware and a software. So then you have to use your programs. The program that works, Mac works on, cannot work in Windows. So this is how it goes on. Consciousness is the program that you use to work, or you are using the program, other program. So the balance gives you a new dimension of feeling where you are both knower and the known, the world and the other world, this and that, body and the mind. You are both, and simultaneously you are neither of the two. Ever both. And when you go ever both, the program that you are using in your computer is neither of the software nor of the hardware. It is beyond both. That's why it helps you to process your information. A triangle has come into existence. You may have seen many occult secret societies have used the triangle as their symbol. The triangle is one of the oldest occult symbols, and when two triangles are placed facing upside down to each other, that is the sign of David. The triangle is one of the oldest occult symbols just because of this, because the triangle has 3 angles. Always life has 3 angles. Ordinarily, you only know 2, the third is missing. It is not there yet for you. It has not evolved. The third angle is beyond the both. 2 is the base angle that supports, and the third, which has nothing to do with the first 2, the base angles. Both belong to it. They are part of it. Yet still the peak is above it. Although it is supported by the 2, it guides the 2, but it has nothing to do with the 2 because they are different. And still it is beyond and higher than both. You look at the triangle, isosceles triangle. There are 3 angles, 2 at the base and 1 at the top. 2 are on the same straight line, and this is higher than that. And if you put that triangle upside down, then that peak will be below, means deep within you. Above and within both are the same. If you do this experiment, you will help to create a triangle within yourself. The third angle will arise by and by, and when it comes, then you cannot be in misery. That's why all over the world, in all the occult sciences, in all the cultures, the triangle is used as a symbol of transformation. And when 2 triangles are placed upside down, it forms a hexagon, and that is called in Christianity a symbol of David. Aurobindo used that as a symbol, and in the middle it is used the sign of its symbol of lotus. That's where the lotus is, in the middle of the 2 triangles, the space that is in the middle. That is the third angle will arise by and by. When it comes, you cannot remain in misery. Once you can witness, you cannot be in misery, because misery means getting identified with something. When the third angle comes, you are not identified with anything. But one subtle point has to be remembered. Then you will not even get identified with bliss. That is why Buddha says, I can only say this much. When he was asked, what did you gain? He said, nothing can be said. That there will be no misery, Buddha said. He did not say there will be bliss. He said there will be no misery in that state. In samadhi, in ecstasy, there will be no misery. What it will be, that is transcendence. You can call it, but everybody calls misery. But beyond the misery, it can be love, it can be ecstasy, it can be bliss, it can be joy, it can be anything else. You can call it by different names. I cannot say that there will be bliss, Buddha says. I cannot say that. I can simply say there will be no misery. And he is right, because bliss means that there is no identification with 2. Love means there is no identification with 2. not even with bliss. That is why it is subtle. If you feel that you are blissful, sooner or later, if you feel that you are blissful, then sooner or later misery will crop in. If you feel that you are blissful, you have chosen the extreme, you will be miserable again. How are you? As you see me. As you see me. Because more than that I cannot say. You are still getting identified with the mood. You feel happy. Now you are identified with happiness. The moment you get identified with happiness, unhappiness is just waiting in the corridor. Unhappiness has started seeping in from the back door slowly and slowly. Now you will cling to happiness. Now you will become afraid of the opposite. Now you will expect to remain with it constantly happy, and neither the happiness remains constantly nor the unhappiness. There is a simple Sufi statement, this too will pass. Nothing remains static. This moment it is so, but the next moment will be different. This too will pass. But now you will cling to it. You will become afraid of the opposite. Now you will expect it to remain with you constantly, and it cannot be. You have created all that is needed for misery to be there, and then misery will enter. And when you get identified with happiness, you will get identified with misery, and this identification with either misery or happiness is the disease. That is why the symbol of triangle is very important. And the third point, you are not identified with anything whatsoever comes and passes. A moment of misery comes, a moment of happiness comes and passes, and you remain simply a witness, a spectator, neutral, indifferent, unidentified. And that is, Buddha calls it the middle path. The morning comes, the sun rises, you witness it. As long as it is there, you do not say, I am the morning. Then the noon comes. Again you do not say that I have become the noon. You witness it. You enjoy it when the noon comes, when sun is on the rise, sun is on top at the highest peak. And when the sun sets and darkness comes in, night falls, you do not say that I am darkness, I am night. You witness it, you say there was morning, then there was noon. Morning was followed by noon, noon was followed by afternoon, afternoon is followed by evening, evening is followed by night, and that's how the cycle goes on. You witness it, you say there was morning, followed by noon, then afternoon, then evening and night. And again there will be morning. And this circle will go on and on, but I am the onlooker. You do certain things in the morning, you do certain things in the afternoon, you do certain things in the noon, you do certain things in the evening, but you do not lament when the morning is gone. I go on witnessing. The same is becoming possible with your moods. And this is the middle path that Buddha talked about. Be aware of it. Live with that middle path. The life will undergo a total transformation. You will not remain the same. Enough for now.